Large language models can offer us considerable convenience in our daily lives, and using them in ComfyUI is no exception. Previously, I introduced how to use the ComfyUI 5.3 mini custom node to translate and expand prompts. However, specific functions like these always require installing a particular node. Recently, I heard about a project called AnyNode, which claims that it can implement any function using a general-purpose node based on LLMs. Is it really that amazing? Let's investigate. Open the custom node page and take a look at its introduction. It is currently in version 0.1 beta, followed by several example images. The node name has a symbol like AV representing OpenAI, a mushroom for Gemini, and LLM indicating a local large language model launched by Llama. These images showcase functions such as mathematical operations and output data types. Multiple nodes of the same type can run simultaneously. Next is the installation and configuration section. Installation is straightforward. The requirements list only includes a few very common libraries that are safe and won't affect other plugins. If you have OpenAI or Gemini, set the corresponding API_key in the environment variables. I don't have Gemini, and ChatGPT requires a paid account to use the API. If you don't have either like me, you can download Llama to run a local large language model, which doesn't need configuration. For instructions on how to install Llama, you can check their official website. It's basically just a series of next steps as long as your computer meets the requirements. The following section covers precautions and advantages. It's clear that the author is very talkative, emphasizing that the level of the LLM affects the quality of the generated nodes. As I said before, I don't have OpenAI or Gemini, so I can only demonstrate using a local large language model, which likely won't perform as well as these cloud-based ones. Please bear with me. At the very end, there are some more advanced feature demonstrations, such as inputting an image and outputting only its red channel content. Reading a local file and summarizing it. This has nothing to do with ComfyUI. Implementing specific filter effects. How is such a magical node achieved? The core is actually this prompt and method, which asks the LLM to act as an expert Python coder with extensive custom node development experience for ComfyUI. The LLM should then write a method to specifically execute the input request based on an example and return the result. Without further ado, I'll give it a try. Download the plugin and put it in the custom nodes directory, then use ComfyUI's Python_embedded to install the requirements.txt. For the local large model, I'll use the same one as the author's example, Mistral. I'll choose the default latest 7B model, which is a 4.1 GB model. Run it locally and have a chat. It runs well. Now, let's try it with ComfyUI. Double-click to search for any node, select the local LLM node with the mushroom icon, and the default problem is simple. Just multiply the input value by 5. The default large language model used is Mistral, and since I'm running Llama locally, there's no need to change the server and API key. Connect an int constant node on the left as input. Set it to 5. Then connect a show text node to see the output and verify it. Everything works smoothly, and the process is correct. Of course, we didn't go through all the trouble to integrate a large language model into ComfyUI just to do math problems. Let's try something more complex, like changing the image color as shown in the author's demo. Copy the more complex prompt into AnyNode. Change the left input to load image. Select the familiar girl image. And change the right side to preview image node. Click Run. And as expected, an error occurs. Checking the backend reveals that the large language model didn't purely return code, but politely prefaced it with "here's the code for your requested function," which is not very helpful. Returning to ComfyUI, We can try again, because the second request not only asks the same question, but also includes the error from the last run. It still fails, indicating it couldn't autocorrect well. Let's handle it ourselves. Add return only the code at the end of the prompt. Running it again produces results, though the image appears as a single line. Clearly incorrect. Changing red to blue in the prompt and running it again. The result still seems off, but at least the preview image node shows a normal picture. Switching to the local Phi3, medium 128K model without changing parameters. Results in an error again. Rerunning it produces the same error, indicating the prompt isn't friendly to this model. Let's not push it. I modified the plugin locally to print out the questions asked to the large model. We'll try asking other large language models like AnyNode and ChatGPT. They quickly provide different answers, and although I didn't verify them, at least one of them is incorrect. In my opinion, there are still many issues with using this custom node in practice. First, it can't fine-tune based on context. For example, when expecting to output only the red channel, the result was just a line, clearly incorrect. Since ComfyUI didn't report an error, the large language model won't update the code, missing the opportunity to gradually achieve a correct method. Second, it can't save nodes. Even if a node functions perfectly, it can't be reused the next time ComfyUI is opened. Third, the prompt is difficult to write, requiring some coding knowledge to achieve the desired result. Fourth, the node's quality depends on the model's intelligence. There's a big difference between accessing the highly intelligent cloud-based GPT-4 and the local Phi3 mini. Although currently only OpenAI and Gemini are supported cloud models, adding others like AnyNode would just require a few more request interfaces, which isn't hard, just time-consuming. The first issue, in particular, might need changes to the node's interaction logic. Overall, this universal plugin is worth trying out but isn't very practical. Kudos to the author for the idea, and I look forward to future updates. That's all for today's video. See you next time.